Welcome to another episode of Magical Moments. Thank you for being here. I wanted to talk today about signs and how we move through our days and through our lives and how we ask for signs, right? So many of us, we use divination tools, we intuit, we work with nature, all these ways that we are moving with the flow of divine inspiration and divine guidance. And in my experience with signs, I wanted to share a story with you to sort of help you understand a little bit of what I experience about signs. So a couple years back, I was making a decision about whether I want to be involved in something. And I was really undecided and I felt very pushed and pulled and I don't know which way to go. And oh, yes, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. And kind of in that place of confusion that I'm sure you're really familiar with. And so I was asking for signs and I got really, really specific about the sign that I wanted to see. And what I asked to see was a tiger on a t-shirt. And it related to the decision I was making. So I went out into the world and I said, hey, if I'm supposed to say yes to this decision, show me a sign. And I want this sign to be a tiger on a t-shirt. And I think this really speaks, right, to how much we want to control a situation. It's really easy to say, show me a sign, and then just kind of be open to like, oh, what's the sign going to be? But I recognized the part of me that was really committed to seeing the sign that I wanted to see. And what I didn't understand at the time was the creative force that gets evoked when we're super specific about the sign that we want to see. So we're creative beings. We're always manifesting. We're always calling into our field things from the outside world, right? So as I stepped into this place of asking for my sign, what I didn't realize I was doing was creating the sign. And so as I go out into the world that day and I'm looking everywhere for my sign, sure enough, there's my tiger on my t-shirt. Not once, but twice. Of course, now I'm like, yes, it's my sign. I'm supposed to say yes to this decision that I didn't want to make. I wanted to be in confusion about, and I wanted something else to make the decision for me. So I go ahead, make the decision, sign up for the thing. And within a month, I knew that I was not supposed to be in this decision that I had made. That wasn't necessarily a wrong decision, because I definitely needed to make the decision in order to know that the decision wasn't the for me anymore, right? Like this was not the direction that I needed to keep moving in. So in this story, right, what became evident for me is how I created those signs instead of just allowing the universe to show me a sign that I could then interpret and move through. And the second thing was, it was being aware of how this part of me that waffles is a part that I get to be more closely connected with. And how are you, right, going to move through this process where you're connected to your inner authority? And this is the piece I was missing. I was giving away my decision power to something outside of myself, a sign from the universe. But then again, I created the sign that I wanted to see. So there's a lot of moving parts in this. And I guess what I want to help you understand is that when something is a true sign, I feel that it comes unexpected. It's something that we see that we're not expecting, that we haven't planned for, that we haven't had time to figure out what it's going to look like. It just arrives. And in that moment that it arrives, there is a deep knowing inside you that this sign is for you. And also accompanying that knowing is a knowing of what it's about. And yes, maybe this is just a nuance of something, but I do think it's a really important distinction and discernment that as you are cultivating signs, looking for signs in your life, right? And growing this part of you that is intuitive, is that you are very deeply aware and attuned to when something is outside of you, like my tiger sign, related to something inside of you, and the knowing that comes when a sign is really connected to your intuitive deciding and choice. So, right, in the tiger example, I didn't make a choice. I created a sign that then I said, oh, I'm going to choose because the sign came. So I was circumnavigating and going around the true knowing part of me. And yes, it worked out in the way that it needed to for me to know that that decision wasn't for me. I don't think there's any wrong decisions, right? Like it just showed me the place where I was not making a choice from my inner knowing. I was making it from this external sign that I was giving my power to. And so as you are deciding, as you are choosing what is going to be the most supportive of you moving forward, I think it's vitally important that you use your internal compass. You get connected to the knowing that lives inside you, and you cultivate that as connected to signs. So when the sign drops in, you know, and you can take action from this place inside you that is really in support of you and your journey. So thanks for being here. I love supporting you on this journey, and check out our programs that I have that can support you even deeper as you are on this journey. I also love reading Akashic Records. If I can support you in that way, there's links in the show notes to get your Akashic Record reading. And yeah, I honor you for this path, for your devotion, for your dedication, and thanks for being here.